Okay, sorry about that. Then good bumped again. Okay then. Forgot. 1 second. Okay, I'm just eating my dinner. Hmm. Hello. How are you doing, Zed? Ooh. There was a really good deal on steak, like less than half price, so I had to grab one while I was at the shops today. Hello, Robert. How you doing? Um. Okay. Okay, so. Ooh, what'd you draw? For me, literally one piece of meat. That is as much. Say, the steak was on sale, but it was not cheap. Ooh, nice. How are you doing? Um, yeah, you wanted to say, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to be working on the, what do you call it? On the, what do you call it? Um, the new, pre-release. Because I want to, get that done before the next chapter. As you can see, I've started writing chapter 36. And the goal is to get that. Say, next chapter. Say, I'm going to be releasing a chapter every 2 weeks, because I need to make some space for my other things that I need to do. And yeah, the goal right now, I want to get all of this done before I properly start on 36. because there's going to be a lot of changes, especially with reference to a bunch of perks that need to be made more in line with the rest of the march. And yeah, I'm planning on more of the supernatural perks, which reminds me I need to up Marshall to 3. But yeah, I'm going to do at least 2 more spiritual, psionic, and magic perks. Before I push the next pre-release, and while I'm doing the next pre-release, I'm also going to be doing the new pool-based roll system and introduce that as well. Yeah. What questions? So do you have any questions regarding the thing? I believe I just responded to your post about the size of the stations. Oh, right here. Oh no, it's 200 meters wide. I mentioned it over here, right? When I said 200-meter grav decks. Yeah, 200 meters across. This is Robert over here. But yeah. Yep. This is indeed correct. Yeah. By default, the stations are a big empty bubble. Yeah. Unless you buy like additional packages and stuff, the grab decks come as like an inflated bubble that like forms into this big cylindrical deck that spins. That like 2 of them together will spin against each other up to the equivalent of 9.8 meters per second of centrifugal acceleration. And yeah, it's mostly pressurized using liquid air, right? Some people will just dump a bunch of liquid air into the inside, let it boil off, and then that's how you do it. Ooh, nice. So I want to have morning. Well, I guess it's evening for me. Virtual, magic, bionic, and if I have ideas for the rest, that's when it'll come in. Okay, I want to focus a little bit more on sensory stuff because I did astral projection earlier for virtual, right? Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Your. Your. Everything around. Everything you interact. Remember. So the core station, right, like the basic station, is so being sold with this sort of business proposition. In BattleTech, jump ships are really rare, right? There are not that many of them. Nobody know. The only way to make them are using these factories that no one knows how to replicate, and as a result, basically in any situation, and if you're doing any sort of interplanetary trade, you are always limited by jump ships. What these stations do is they allow all the trade to happen at the jump points, which means that you can cut the time a jump ship stays in a system by half, effectively doubling your logistical throughput. There's also another thing, which I'm not sure if you're willing to be spoiled on this. It's technically talked about in the setting materials, but like if you want to, oh, bye Koba. But if you want to talk, say if you want me to explain, I will. Not really. What? You know how. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's kind of. It's not like. It's a tech thing, right? And it's like the fact that it's done is explains a few things in the story, but it's like, yeah. I know. How to use your own pick up on you. What else? Yeah. There's some other stuff. Okay. So we want the spiritual or psychic. So what else? What else do I need from spiritual? I mean, I already did Shikigami, didn't I? I did elemental. I didn't do Shikigami. Okay. I mean, I did kind of do spirits. You know how to bind Souls and spirits to your creating forms that can even influence the um hmm, um um these are of um, able one day. Uh, uh, um, I know I already did for sidekick. I did telepathy. Hmm. Did I do Ooh, nice. Well, I'm assuming Meep has already been fed. How big has Meep gotten? Like, she was pretty small when you first showed her to us. Ooh, let's check it out. Ooh, nice. You really improved on your form there. Like, your proportions are really good. Not sure about the, like, shoulder line, but it does definitely look quite good. Like, the head to torso proportions is nice. Hmm. Um, um, Mine. Ah, cool. Oh wait, forgot. You how to pick up on style and using. So there's two, right? There is the actual. Is there actually like a proper mending repair? So there's warranty, which is technically a fiat one, and there is an enchanting like general skill. Yeah, there's a enchanting general skill, but it would make sense for there to be like uh, a proper repair one. Repair. You know how to use magic to undo the damage. done to objects. Even if you returning them back. Repair. No. Not charm. Speed 3 times. 3 times. 4. Aww. You kitty. No, it's nice that Neek lets you pick lets you pick her up like that. Shows that she trusts you. Roll that thing. And you know how to and that will cause items to repair themselves over time and again. At the final time you proceed, it allows you to extend to even living. The animate. The mental run. This allows you to sense not only mind, but even the influence of mental power on otherwise wondering. Even the psionic energy bound in construct for us. What's psionics? We want to have some sort of sensory magic. I go by the kind of idea that magic can work with technology so long as you define the space in which the magic works, right? Like, magic forces an effect, and how that effect comes to be can be unpredictable. So as long as you define the scope in which your magic operates, then you can work with it, right? So if you enchanted a reactor wall to be stronger, right? How is it stronger? Is it stronger because it is better at absorbing radiation? Or is it stronger because it's like reflecting incoming neutrinos or whatever? Or is it stronger because like it's made the atoms less susceptible to radiation or whatever? Right? You need to understand that, and in that case, the magic, you either need to define that, or in the case of making something cold, you can say, okay, how does this spell make the wall the since this spell makes the wall cold, as long as we don't interact with the temperature of the reactor wall, then um, we can like work around the magic fairly easily. I'm not the kind of oh magic destroys tech kind of guy. No, that doesn't make sense to me. Um, um, Arcane. You understand how to pick apart divine meaning from wait, from there. Make up uh, coming to understand how the um um uh you can detect the presence of magic, and so you know how to detect magic in uh, allowing you to even in passive. Uh, uh, this allows um you to this not only do you so not only can you use this can you do this correctly to detect subtle or even otherwise hidden magic. You have so you are now so you are practiced enough that this happens so that you passively analyze your surroundings. Okay, and I was gonna do another magic thing. Uh, uh, hmm, Jun, knows how to turn people and animals into. Uh, so what's the? It is. I believe it's altered existence that Jun rolled. Is that right? Uh, yeah, altered existence. Yeah. Yep. So as long as you recognize, so as long as you have some way of either separating the function of your tech from the magic, or constraining the mechanism of operation by which the magic is functioning, um, you will. So you can easily merge magic and technology. But the trickier part is when you are like perfectly merging magic and tech to take advantage of like the flexibility of magic, but also the like um like stability of technology, right? So flexibility of magic, stability into Eldritch Bomb. Oh wait, no, that hasn't happened in story, has it? Because that's does that not happen yet? Oh wait, hold on. Yes. Jun has not yet rolled and useful. So that depends, right? So if you're talking about this lightning enchantment teleports a bunch of negative charge into the sky above you, creating a big positive zone right below your feet, and then causes this lightning bolt to hit you, that's one thing. Or does your magic just somehow actualize the effects of a lightning bolt, like in the form of a giant crack or whatever? Like, unless you specify what exactly the magic is doing, it's super unpredictable, specifically for power generation, right? You would most likely get a more reliable result by just enchanting a wheel to spin and connecting that to a generator. But if you are trying to manipulate the electricity itself as a lightning enchantment, you need to define that, okay, what this magic is doing is it's generating a potential difference by teleporting electrons across this insulating barrier or whatever else. You can't just say, okay, I'm using a lightning enchantment on this, and this will magically empower this device. Because at that point, you deal with like the chaotic flexibility. You're building your stable technology on this really mushy and like soft foundation of magic. Not Eldritch Park in the story that has been posted so far. If you want spoilers, yeah. Um. Oh, hey, I'm only one. So once I finish these, I'm only one perk away from enough to do a pre-release. Because I just need to get up to 30. Oh, just a second. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Alright, one payment. I mean, but in that sense, you're defining what the magic is doing, right? You are defining that this spell that you're using generates a bunch of electrons in the zone of your, say, in this point in your circuit. So the thing about magic is that in this system, or at least in the system that I'm using for the story, magic is top down versus bottom up, right? Physics basically means that technology is that you have a set of rules and you are building up on those rules to achieve some result. Magic is saying here is the conceptual existence of the universe, right? It is saying that, okay, this is a sword. Doesn't matter if it's like actually a bunch of metal that's shaped into a certain space and it's got like a handle and it's sharp. No, this is a sword, therefore it does stuff. That's what magic is about, right? The fact that if you swing something, if you swing the sword and it cuts something, from the magical perspective, it is the fact that this is a sword that is being swung that generates this cutting effect. And therefore, you can also apply the concept of a cut to something else to cut it magically. And that's like kind of where the wibbliness of magic comes in. Because magic doesn't really care about the physical mechanism surrounding the cut. All magic cares about at the end of the day is that there is a cut there. And like what does a cut mean? And yeah, so magic is wibblier than technology is. Which means that it's also more personal. Like, you can automate it, but it's not really because you're automating stuff. You are making a big spell to do little spells. And that is the way you... Yeah, so magic is... We've got concepts that exist, and we're imposing them onto the world, and therefore there is an outcome. How that outcome interacts with the rest of the world is very flexible. But tech grows from a foundation and is really stable. And both have their benefits and disadvantages. Because magic is very dependent on the user's perception of the world. And also, it is very dependent on like its own internal systems. Tech will account for things that magic doesn't, but magic can also account for things that tech doesn't. Like a magical detector spell might pick up on something that like sensors wouldn't, because the sensors are looking for certain physical effects. But a magical invisibility spell might fail against normal sensors because your magical invisibility spell was just making you invisible, therefore can't be seen within the visible spectrum. And everything else about you is perfectly detectable. And that's why magic and tech are like two different approaches. There was... No, it was a martial thing, wasn't it? Okay, let's get rid of that first. I need to finish the Psionics and the Eldritch. Okay, so Psionics, where we want we've already got a telepathy. Ooh. I mean, I have shared dreaming, but I don't have a long distance messaging spell, do I? The long distance messaging psionic thing. Oh, that's right. That's the thing that I wanted to do with psionics. Well, I already did that, didn't I? I did that up here with Sounix. Oh god, then you sort this. Elegant design perk, yada 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 yada. Psychic, spiritual, martial, alchemy, science, hidden meaning. I already did that, okay. Yeah. So, magic will choose whatever mechanism it desires to get to a specific effect. And that's where the difficulty of merging it with technology comes, because you are it's like, unless you're heavily defining how your magic works, you're not going to be able to um, fit it into a regular system of magic. On the other hand, magic working from technology is actually super easy, because technology, you can enchant a normal sword really easily to be better at cutting, right? It's when you try and use magic as the foundation that things get difficult. Because if you say, okay, this is a sword that cuts, my magic is going to make it better at cutting, the mechanism already exists, so the sword just gets better at cutting. Or when this sword hits something, that gets set on fire. This is now a fire sword, and the magic will do that. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let me work on the text for refined. You know how to create. Create with a sense timeless present. Uh, so, with a certain path to their allure. You can That reminds me, I wanted to do a quick model of the ALAT at some point. So, add mesh. Cylinder. Radius 2 meters, depth 1 meter. Edit mode RY90. RY. Yeah, because the foundational element of sharpness that the technology would normally provide is missing. Bubble. Delete faces. Oh, actually, no, I don't need to delete faces. Like inset, can't I? For the effect that I'm going for. First, yeah. Scale. Okay, and then we need to do individual origins and extrude. Okay, that's the wheel. And then we need to do the motor inset. Exactly. So remember what I said, the reason why Jun's Raza can go really fast is because it is effectively being thrown around by a motor that is bigger than this is what I was talking about with Jun's strength. Is this is a 2 meter tall wheel. This is the motor that moves it. And that is the thing that Jun was throwing around when they were and then we do object mode, and then we say add mesh UV sphere radius GY R edit mode RX 90 BC RX. Then we want to do sharp activate shift. Not that, it is I think Jun would probably just fill them with some sort of polymer foam, because they're designing them for operations, or they're like basing them off of heavy industrial tires anyways, and I think most of those would already be airless. No, that was fine. Oh, actually, do what? RX. Then we're going to add a mesh of another UV sphere. Edit mode. R. So, when I was previously messing with this one, but let me grab the other Razat prototype. When I was previously messing with it, this was kind of where I was going with the design. So this was before I settled on the more like smoother and like signature style design. This was the prototype Razat before Jin made any stylistic modifications, but I think it wouldn't end up looking like this, right? I think this is too early of a prototype. This is before I really considered the effects of stylistic design, right? So I'm gonna rework it to be more in line with that. Hey Muffin, how you doing? Better than I was expecting, honestly. Today was a bit of a day, but it's actually turned out pretty decently. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build out like an intermediary layer. It's supposed to be like a comet trail shape, right? Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create like a midsection with this thing. I'm redesigning the Razat to make it look more like it's a group of comets that are like moving across here. I mean, it's still got the big wheel at the back and the big motors, and I'm gonna add like a section that is bulky that goes around it. Yep, these are the forward wheel pods that'll have like articulation on them. This thing, you can kind of see where that's coming from, and technically it's gonna have two wheels in the back. It's just going to be together, but you can see kind of how this is going. This is going to be turned into this, where I'm going to create a section under the big forward thing. Wait, hold on. Ah. Damn it. Okay, I need to delete this and then start again. Add mesh. UV. Yeah, it is bent.